cups of tea down, off the sofas. Perfect. Right, ladies and gents, so in our set position, yep, just checking out recording that. So in our set position, first of all, heels under your hips, knees relaxed and your toes pointing forwards. If your knees tend to roll in a little, just gently press them out for the little toes and feel like you're corkscrewing your heels gently into the ground. Switch on our outer thighs to begin with. So your hands down by your thighs, and you're going to turn your palms in towards your thighs, so it opens your chest and your shoulders. And then from here, just moving into a few pelvic tilts first of all. So it's just a gentle rock backwards and forwards with your pelvis. But as you're gently moving through your pelvis, you're keeping your ribs still, your back nice and long. Now if you feel your head tends to drop forward, just feel like you're gently drawing your chin towards your throat, and that's going to help to keep the ears and the shoulders in line. Now try and work on that tuck, so you feel like you're drawing your tailbone under, lengthening your lower back, and as you're tucking under your bottom, you're drawing your belly button back in towards your spine. So just a couple more there, and again that always just gives a little bit of release through the lower back before we begin. Then we settle in our neutral position with our hips forward and hands by the thighs. Just a little breath in as you lift your shoulders, and then breathe out and push your hands away. So you're going to breathe in to lift, and then breathe out to push your hands out to the side. So let's just watch the shoulders. As you push the arms out, you don't want your shoulders to lift. So when you pull your shoulder blades down to the back of the ribs, and you feel the muscles pulling the shoulders down, you want to try and keep that connection as your arms come out to the side. Now where you're still in your neutral position, knees are still soft, and then you're going to hold at the top. You're just going to turn your palms to the ceiling, so you squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then lower your hands back to your thighs. Breathe in, breathe out with a lift, and then keep breathing out as you turn your hands. Now when you turn your palms to the ceiling, try and make sure you don't get that movement through your back. So again, keep the tummy gently drawn in, pull the shoulders down, and then turn your palms up. And when you turn your palms up towards the ceiling, almost feel like you're squeezing the shoulder blades back and down just a little bit more. And we're going to do two more here. So we're just starting to switch on the muscles that stabilise the shoulders, and we're also just releasing the muscles here that can be a little bit tight and keep pulling the shoulders forward. So as you rest here, we're going to move into our side bends. So your hand slides down your thigh towards the outside of the knee. Your bottom is still tucked under, and you keep your weight even through both feet. Now be aware that when you're sliding from side to side, you're going directly from side to side, and you're not allowing yourself to round forwards. So you're between two panes of glass. Your weight stays even through both feet, and you let your ear go across, so we get the movement into our neck at the same time. And you're still breathing into lower and out with the lift. And from here, just a couple more on each side. Now keep the weight through the heels, giving the bottom a little squeeze, and your last one here. We're going to move straight into our tandem stance for our rotation. So you can either have your feet a little bit wider, which makes your base bigger, or more challenging is your big toe directly touching your heel. Both knees are soft. Back into your neutral spine and roll the shoulders down. Float the arms forward, but still have the feeling the shoulder blades are pulling back. Just drawing the elbow back and then coming forwards. Now you're trying to keep your legs and your hips nice and still. You're letting the head turn, so letting the movement come into the neck at the same time. And just be aware you haven't locked out your legs. Keep the knees soft. And that's going to encourage the muscles around the knees, the ankles and the hips to work to keep your stability. Not to mention your bottom. Now pull the crown of your head back up to the ceiling. Try and become a little bit taller. Use the in-breath to pull back and the out-breath to come forwards. And if we do one more on each side without falling over, it will be good. And then from here, float the hands down. Change feet, so your left foot comes forward. Now you can keep the bow and arrow arms, or encourage a little bit more rotation by keeping the arm nice and wide. So again, don't feel the shoulder lifts as you draw the arm back. Shoulder blades down. So your hand is just below your shoulder line. You're still drawing the shoulder blades down to the back of the ribs to keep that nice strong connection to your back. And then you can try and take your arm a tiny bit further, pausing, and then breathing out to come back into the middle. So again, an in breath to reach back, out breath to come forward. In through your nose, out through the mouth. Don't rush, take that little pause at the back, and then breathe out through the mouth as you come back to the centre. And once more to your left hand side. And then you can come into centre. Feet under hips, tailbone tucked, and just lift your right heel. And then you're going to alternate your foot pedals. So you're just pushing your knees forward. Try not to let the knees push out to the sides. So just roll onto the ball of your foot. Feel that your knees still tracking around with your toes. And then think about your hips. Keep your tailbone gently tucked under, so as you change feet, the hips don't drop from side to side. So it's keeping a nice strong neutral position and gently pushing forward with the knees. Now when you lift your heels, you feel the crown of your head pulling up to the ceiling. And when you lower your heel, keep feeling like the head's pulling up to the ceiling. Then you're ready to add in the arms. Hold your right foot up. Now from here, just going to lift your left arm back into your neutral and then scissor the arms at the same time. Now as we start to work with the arms, we make our upper abdominals work to stop the ribs flaring. So we're trying to make sure the back doesn't arch. So got that nice strong neutral position. And still no rocking from side to side. Keep gently tucking under with your tailbone. So you keep that little connection to your core the whole way through. Chin still gently drawn in towards your throat so the head doesn't drop forwards. And a couple more on each side. Nice and gentle. It's as gentle as it gets. And then when you finish your last one, bring everything back down. Okay, let's go to squats. We're going to start with wide squats today, and we're going to add in the arm movement. So your feet are about shoulder width apart, and when the feet go wider, you're gently turning your toes out to a diagonal, so it makes sure that when we push the knees out, the knees are still tracking in line with the toes. Hands by your thighs, and roll the shoulders back. You're going to breathe in, lift the arms, and then breathe out, pull your shoulders up again. Pull them down, and press your fingers out, and then breathe in, lift the shoulders. Pull the shoulders down as you reach down into your squat. Just checking on your knees, now tracking in line with your toes. So you might feel your knees want to come inwards. And if the knees roll in, you won't be able to see your big toes to the outside of the knees. So we keep squeezing these out so it keeps them all working to our bottom. And when you glance down at the bottom, again, you can just check those big toes to the inside of the knees. We're going to hold. We're going to rotate the palms up, lift your right arm, then your left arm, back in line with the shoulders, turn your palms down, and then pull up through your shoulders. Down with the ribs, tailbone tucked, and again just adding the arm movement. So when you add the arm movement, you don't want any movement to come through your spine. We stabilise the shoulders by drawing the shoulder blades down into the ribs. We squeeze the shoulders a little bit more as we rotate the palms up. And we don't rush. Roll the shoulders up, pull them down, press out with the knees, squeeze the shoulders, don't push the rib cage forward. Try and keep the arm nice and long. Turn your palms down, and two more. Breathe out through the mouth, gentle breath in, knees gently pressing back towards those little toes, feeling the thighs, and hopefully feeling your bottom too. Tailbone under, don't push the ribs forward. And now we're going to move just a little bit quicker. You're going to come down, turn your palms here, you're going to rise out your legs, and then pull the shoulder blades back. Breathing out with a lift, and a breath in. So your arms nice and long. And as you pull the arms down, physically pull the shoulder blades down at the same time. So again, opening through your chest the whole time, pushing out the knees over the toes, and just two left. And one more time. Should be quite a nice feeling. And then bring your hands down and just give your shoulders a little roll. Okay, so that's your feet, both feet into your squats. We're going to come into a single leg squat, so we're going to bring feet back in. Okay, we're going to alternate our legs for our squats today. So from your standing position, you're in your neutral spine. You're going to slide your right foot forward and then pull your hips back and then pull your foot back in under your hip. Left foot forward, tip forward from the hips and then pull your foot back under your hip. Breathe in as you reach forward and then breathe out and pull your leg back in. Keeping your tailbone tucked under and keeping the length into the back. Now you may feel when you come into your single leg squat, the hips want to push out to the side. So try to feel the hips push directly backwards. This leg nice and strong, and then pushing out the heel and pulling the foot in. So if you want to, you can add the arms. As you pull your hips back, arms can come forward, and then push out the heel and back into the centre. So just find that little bit of balance. And you'll find a little bit more balance. So as you come forward this time, you're going to hold, just open the arm to the side, and then the other arm, and then lower the hands as you slide back up. The in breath, out breath, breathing in, breathing out, breath in, and out to rise. Now if you want to make it a tiny bit more challenging, you can turn the head with the arm, trying to maintain a neutral spine, so you've got your tailbone tucked under, and just allowing your eye gaze to follow your fingers. Feet staying hip distance apart as you bring your foot forward. Feeling that connection with your shoulder blades drawing down to the back of the ribs. And again, each time you bring your leg forward, just give your thigh a little squeeze so it stays nice and straight. And when you go into your squat, feel it's the hips that move back. Try not to let the spine move as you draw the elbow back. And then squeeze your shoulder blades together. One more on each side. This is a breath in here, tailbone under, out with the turn, into centre. Out to turn, breath into centre. As you breathe out, grow tall. Once more, breathe into your nose. Drawing the tummy in gently. Let the eye gaze just follow your thumb. And then push through both heels and come back in. Give your legs a little shake. But from here, we're going to come into a lunge. So it's just a few lunges for a stretch of the hips. We're going to take our right leg back, little tuck under with the bottom, and a little bit of rotation again. We've got lots of movement through our waist there. It'll help later. So we're going to bend our back knee. Just open the arm again to the side, then to the other side, and then rise. So we're just going to stay here. We're going to do 6 on each side, giving your tailbone a little tuck under. So when you lower your left knee, you're searching for a stretch through the front of your hip. If you feel your shoulders come forward of your hips, then we kind of lose that stretch a little. So for your last 3, think about keeping the shoulders directly above the hips. Turning the head again with the arm. And now your challenge is not to grip with your toes. Relax your toes. Put the weight into the heel. So if you almost lift your toes just slightly off the floor. Perfect. Once more. Nice one back. Open the chest. Squeeze back into the middle. Open the other side. Squeeze back in. And step backwards or forwards. Perfect stretch. Now the other leg. So again, always have the feet hip width apart. That will be really unsteady if you step behind your front foot. Remember the hips first, we want our neutral. And you will feel that back knee come slightly forward as you tuck under with your bottom. Front knee gently out towards the little toe. Keep the back long. Again, don't worry about how low you go. How low can you go? I won't sing over it. Think about more keeping your chest nice and lifted. Keep a gentle squeeze in the bottom. So when you draw the arms out, there's no rock from side to side with the hips. So we've got the stability through our legs. We've got rotation through the spine. And then you're going to try and relax your toes. So before you turn, can you lift your toes and make them light? Keep the weight into the heel. That make you wobble a little bit more. It'll make everything work a hell of a lot harder. Tailbone first. Breathe in. Breathe out to open. Breath in as you close. And again. And just once more. Turned the heating on 10 minutes ago. Actually, suddenly got really warm. I don't know. Step in and give your legs a shake. So let's try a little walking plank. We're going to step our feet underneath our hips. And we're going to start with soft knees. Tailbone tucks under and your hands by your thighs. Start from your chin. You're going to gently tuck the chin in, bend your knees and bring your hands to the floor. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Now brace your tummy and then you're going to walk your hands forward into a plank position. Lengthen your spine, taking a breath in. Now try and keep the legs as straight as you can as you walk back. Bend your knees when you need to and then just take a nice roll back up through the spine. And let's breathe. Breathe in, tucking your chin, roll forwards. Bend the knees whenever you're ready. Hands shoulder width apart. Now go slowly, try not to let the hips rock from side to side. So again, you're keeping your core connected all the way through. Eye gaze comes forward with your fingers, hips, shoulders, knees in line. And then try and keep the legs straight and push back through the heels of the hands. Bend your knees when you need to and then reset your spine. Now we're going to do another 4 here. Start from the chin, knees bent, belly lifted, and then walk forwards. One hand then the other. Don't rush and don't rock the hips. Push your eye gaze forward with your fingertips, and then walk back. Let your heels come to the ground, bend your knees when you need to, and roll. And just 3 more. So don't rush, think about the movement through the spine. As your chin tucks in, you start to feel the stretch through the back. Knees can be as bent as you need them to be, and walking forwards. Straighten your legs as soon as you can. Push your eye gaze forward. Pull your shoulders back, and walk again. Knees soft, and breathe. Restack. And then pull the shoulder blades back. 2 more. Start from the chin, so you get the stretch into the back of the neck. Bend to the mid-back. Let the knees soften. Bend your knees. One hand and the other nice and slowly. Lots of length here. Push your chest forward. And again, walk back. And if you need to, when you rise, you can bring your hands onto your shins and walk the hands up to help you come back into that upright position. Once more. And the fingertips just drop down to the ground. Nice big breath in as you walk forwards. Breathe out, lengthen, push up your toes. And then pull the belly up. Walk. And the knees, tucking your chin, and restack. Feels nice. This is your last one, and you're going to stay down this time. So the knees are soft, belly's lifted. No rocking through the hips, so go as slowly as you need to, not allowing the hips to rock. And then you're going to hold your plank position now. Lengthen your spine. Option to bring your knees down to the floor, so you can hold your plank here. Or we're going to do a knee drop. One knee coming forwards and then back. Breathing in and out. If you don't like it on your wrists, feel free to come down to your elbows and continue with that knee drop. Or if you're on your knees, it can just be a knee lift and down, up and down. I thought we'd do your favourite bits first, and then you'll like a good plank. Now push your head forward. Make sure the head's lifted, so the neck, shoulders and ears stay in line. One more on each knee drop. And then you can bring your knees down to the floor. Come onto the tops of your toes and just gently pull the hips back. Turn your thumbs to the ceiling. Pull your hips back to your heels. And just try and make your right arm a little bit longer. Then your left arm a little bit longer. Then your right arm again, reaching, pulling your hips back. And then your left arm, nice length all the way through the spine. And then you come all the way forward. So hands come down and just descend slowly. Perfect. Okay, once you come into this front line position, just going to tilt my camera a little bit better so you can see what I'm doing. Just want a little break breather. So let's start with elbows at 90 degrees. So your elbows in line with your shoulders. You're going to draw the shoulder blades down to the back of the ribs. You can rest your head here on the block or a cushion, or just let your head rest on the ground. Now we're trying to keep a neutral spine, so when you lie here, your back will naturally want to curve. So you're going to try and draw your tailbone to your heels. You're going to pull the shoulder blades down to the back of the ribs, and then we're going to lift our head and one arm. All I want you to focus on, first of all, is not pushing your belly button back in towards the ground. So once you push your belly into the floor, you will lift higher, but the lower back will arch more. So try and keep that lower back nice and long. Constant feeling you draw your tailbone to your heels. And now I want you to try and relax your bottom a little. So when you lift, you're not tensing your bottom or your legs. Now we're going to add on, so when you lift your arm, you're going to reach forward, hold the shoulder blade back, and then lower. And if it feels too much for the reach forward, just keep the elbow in line with the shoulder. Keeping the elbow at 90 degrees, or pushing forward into your fingertips. And again, some people will find this a lot harder than others. Depends on your natural posture sometimes. And if you do spend a lot of time driving, reading, in that forward flex position, it's quite tough on the upper back. But it's also then good for your upper back because it helps to strengthen those muscles and it stops the rounding through the upper back. Okay, we're going to do 3 more. So our last one on each side when you finish this one. Draw the belly button up. Keep the shoulder blade drawn back and down. And one more time. And then rest. Bring your hands forward and you can let your head have a rest this time. So you're going to take your feet a little bit wider than your hips. You can see my feet there, perfect. So your feet are wider and your heels roll outwards. And then you can squeeze your bottom and your heels together. So you're just pivoting on your toes and then squeezing the bottom to bring the feet in. Breathe in and then breathe out to squeeze. So we just get a little bit of movement through our hips. And we're also going to draw our belly button gently up towards the spine. So you're going to breathe in as the heels roll out, and then breathe out, squeeze your heels together. Think about the tummy, don't press the tummy into the floor. And now we're going to add a lift. So once you squeeze your heels together, can you lift your legs? Toes come down, heels roll apart. Squeeze, lift, toes down and roll. Breathe in, out, focusing on your core now. You might feel it's not a very big lift, but that's fine. But we do want to make sure as you lift your legs, you're squeezing the front of your thighs. So your legs are really straight when they lift. Sometimes we lift with bent knees. That then takes it into the hamstrings. Try and keep the hamstrings nice and long. So again, almost like that feeling that you're pushing back into your heels. And 2 more. If you need to have a rest, you can have a rest here. If you want one more level, hold at the top and just beat your feet together. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release your legs down and let your heels roll outwards. Turn onto your side when you're ready. So come into our side lying position. We're looking for the alignment as we lie down between the ankles, the knees. They're not the knees, are they? The ankles, the knees, the hips, the shoulders and the ears. Roll your top shoulder back. Again, you can use a little towel here between your arm, or you can rest a towel on the floor and bring your arm forward. Comfort first. Then your set position, rolling the shoulder back. And again, when you lie here, your bottom rib will naturally collapse to the floor. So what we're going to do is think about getting the muscles here to stabilise the lower back working first. So what we're going to do is pull the hip up towards your rib, and then you're going to push the foot away. So pull the hip to the rib, so you're shortening this distance, and then push your foot away. Now you can take your hand onto your bottom rib, and notice that when you push your foot away, that bottom rib very lightly lifts off the floor. When you pull the hip in, the spine gently sags. As you push the leg away, we'll bring that spine back into alignment. So on your next one, once we've got that alignment and we've pushed our toes away, keeping the thighs squeezed, little leg lift. So it's like we did with the shoulders. We pull down and then push out to the side. Breathing in, breathe out, push, keep breathing out with the lift. Now your hand can stay lightly on the floor, or you can bring your hand onto your hip. You might want to roll forwards, but again, as you draw the tummy in, you're trying to keep that stability all the way through. Feel the lengthening first. Push away from your toes. You're opening here, and as your leg lifts, you're trying to keep that openness between your ribs and your hips. Now give your bottom thigh a squeeze. That'll make your balance just a little bit more challenged. Breathing in to pull the hip, and breathing out to push. You're going to hold the push this time. So nice long leg, point your toe, and just some gentle circles. Now your foot moves around your hip socket. Your shoulders stay open, tummy gently drawn in, and then we circle the opposite way around. So push your toes away again, and then reverse your circles. Breathing in as your foot lowers, and out with a lift. And again, quite challenging to do that with your hand on your hip. Trying to keep the neck and the shoulders relaxed. Let's go back to that hip hinge. So you're going to pull the hip up to the rib, push away and lift. Breathing in, and out to push and lift. So just going to do another two here. And then we're going to go back into our circles again. Strengthen your bottom leg and circle forward for 5. See if you can make your circles a tiny, tiny bit bigger. They don't have to be too big. You're just trying to get the trunk of your body still and keep all the work through the hip. Once you've done your 5, hold at the top and that reverse. Breathing in as you lower your leg. Out with the lift. Aware that the ribs aren't pushing forward and aware that you're not anchoring through your fingers. And one more circle. And then you get to rest that leg down. Now your top leg you're going to bring forwards. You're going to place it on the floor in front of your thigh. If this feels uncomfortable, you can let the knee come to the floor. With your foot here, we're just going to gently press the knee back and just bring a little stretch into the outer thigh and the hip. So your hand just gently on the knee and easing away. Now you're going to keep the knee here. You're going to bring your hand back to the floor, stack the hips, and then you're going to lift the underneath leg. And again, if that feels too difficult, just let the knee come down and work with that leg lift. The difference when we've got our knee up here and we press the knee away, it keeps the hip pulled away from the rib. And again, when we lift that underneath leg then, it won't lift as high, but we'll keep the work in the inner thigh. We get a little stretch to the outer thigh, and also a stretch to that top leg as we're pushing the knee back. So again, don't worry about how high the leg lifts. Just think about keeping your leg straight as it lifts. And now you can pulse at the top. 10 little ones. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, breathing out, 3, 2, 1, and release it down. Should we try that on the other side? Have a roll onto your other side when you're ready. So again, remember you can use a little cushion or a towel to place your head on, and you can have your arm forward. Or even sometimes just placing a towel between your arm and your ear. Just helps the neck to keep in a better position. So let's think about the alignment first. Ankles, knees, hips. Gently push the top hip away, and let's just relax and soften through our shoulders. Fingertips really light on the ground. Let's pull the hip up to the rib. Pull up, and then push away and up. No, it's not the lift yet, just the pushing away. So you can focus again on that bottom rib. When you push your top foot away, it should just slightly lift the pressure off that bottom rib. So again, you get the feel of opening and lengthening your spine. Use the in-breath to pull the hip up, and then breathe out to push away with a gentle lift. Not lifting too high, just getting the feeling of lengthening at first. Now give your bottom thigh a squeeze, that bottom leg's nice and straight. And then let's lift a little higher now, so your foot comes almost in line with your shoulder. Breathe in, hip to rib. Breathe out, push and lift. Bottom leg nice and strong. And again, as we start to work into these muscles, once we push the hip away, the muscles are more switched on for stabilising when we lift. If we let that hip stay up towards the rib when we lift, we end up using our lower back for the lift. So when you push the hip away and lengthen, you're keeping the back still, and you're keeping the work through the outer thigh. And then once you push the hip away, these muscles here are stabilising to help the leg lift. And again, pull the hip up higher, push away a little bit further, and then lift the leg. You should feel then more work coming through your outer thigh, more stability through the trunk of your body, and hopefully your neck and shoulders still relaxed. Now straighten that bottom leg, hold it here, and circle. Forward, don't rush. As your foot comes forward, try not to push into your fingers. So work as slowly as you need to. And again, working slowly is so much more effective. Doesn't mean I can count though. I don't know if that's 4 or 3, 4 or 5 even. Let's go the other way. Squeeze the front of your thigh. Make the leg really strong and straight. Think about the hips, don't let the hips rock. Again, don't push into the fingers. I know it's easier said than done. And then come back to your hip hinge. So you're going to pull the hip up, hitch up, and then push away. And again, pull up, push away, a little lift. Breathing in. Think about lengthening to your lower back. Keeping that gentle tuck under with your tailbone the whole way through. And then let's go back to our circles this time. Pull the hip away, lift your legs, squeeze your thighs, fingertips light, and then 5 super slow circles. Can you try and circle with your hand on your hip? Noticing that hip stays still, neck and shoulders are relaxed, outer thighs getting quite warm. And then when you've done your 5 circles, reverse them. Breathing in to come forward and out to drop down. Trying to get your foot all the way around your hip socket. And you've got one more circle. One last one all the way around, and then stop at the top. Bring your leg down gently. So when you're ready, we're going to work the underneath thigh. You can either let the knee rest here, and if you've got bad hips, you can put that knee on the cushion to keep the knee a little higher. Or you can bring your foot to the floor. I'm going to just take a little stretch, pressing the knee away, not letting the ribs push forward. And then your next one, you're going to hold the knee away. Strengthen your bottom leg. Fingers can come back down, and then lift your bottom leg. It won't be a very big lift. So again, once we've got that knee pushed away, we're open here. We're not letting that hip collapse up towards the rib. And that will massively reduce the range of your lift because you're stabilising, keeping the trunk of your body still. There's no movement coming from the back, And it's all the inner thigh trying to do the work and making the outer thigh stretch a little. Breathe out through the mouth as you lift. In as you come to a hover. And give me 2 more to the top. And then you're going to stay at the top just an inch. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, neck relaxed. 3, 2, 1, and bring it all the way back down. Roll onto your back when you finish that last one. You might want to give your knees a hug in towards your chest. Relax the head, relax the shoulders. And as you gently draw the knees in, just a little release for your back. You can allow the knees to come a little wider whenever you're ready. Okay, we're going to come into some arm circles next. We're going to practice them lying down, and then we're going to practice them sitting up just a little bit more. So bring your feet down to the floor. Find a neutral spine, because you've got both feet down. Shoulders are back, chin's nodded in, and just lift the arms. As you breathe in, you're going to take the arms back, and you're going to circle your hands down towards your ankles, and then breathe in with your lift. As your arms reach overhead, just want you to be aware that you're not allowing the back of your ribs to lift off the ground. So think about the distance you're holding between your ribs and hips, and as the arms go back, you're not allowing that distance to increase. Give me 1 more circle. Okay, we're going to hold here. Tuck in the chin, you're going to push forward, and then you're going to circle the arms. Don't let the arms go past your ears. And then you're going to roll back down. So from the chin, nod in, slide your hands to your ankles. Don't let the ribs lift now. Press the palms down, come back to your ankles and lower. As you're working through these arm circles, we're still trying to hold a neutral spine. So we've not pushed the lower back into the floor. Almost feel like you're pressing your tailbone down to the floor. And if you're struggling with your neck for any reason on the lifts, try and think about bringing the chin in first. And don't ask me why, but it really helps to press the tongue up against the roof of your mouth to stop the neck hurting as much. Use the out breath to reach forward. Take a breath in as the arms lift. Breathe out to circle. And then a breath in to lower. Let's have 4 more. So again, rest the head and keep the head down if you need that a little bit less. And again, you're focusing on keeping the trunk of your body still as the arms move. So you lock into this position, you resist the ribs moving, press the palms down and pull into the ankles. Reach the ankles first, you get that feeling of the shoulders pulling down, the ribs pulling towards the hips. So we just start to make sure we're using the right muscles as we lift. So reach the ankles, shoulders, ribs, chin tucked in. And then your very last circle. 1 more time. So again, push forward, slide into the rib cage, lift the arms up nice and high, press your palms down, and then bring it back to your ankles and release down gently. Bring both knees up above the hips. Knees hip distance apart. And you've got a soft imprint. Keep the knees at 90. I'm just going to tap your toe on the ground, and then you're going to bring your knee back above your hip. And time has flown by. But we've done our planks already, so that's okay. Now if you feel your shoulders trying to lift as your legs lower, turn your palms up and coax through your shoulder blades back into the spine. So again, you've got that nice strong base from your shoulders. Just before you lower your leg, gently press the belly button to the floor and try and keep your belly button down towards your back as you lower the knee. So you're just resisting the back lifting by keeping your core nice and strong, and you're making sure you don't just drop the foot down. Move from the hip and then breathe again. In as you lower and out with the lift. Keep the back of the neck nice and long. Feel the shoulders nice and grounded. Just aware that the ribs don't pop up as your leg lowers. Slow breath in, strong breath out. And we're going to go through the 2 on each side. If you need to rest and you're starting to feel it more into your back than your tummy, just bring the feet down and have a little rest. 1 more each leg if you can. And then with your last one here, you can hug back in your knees. Nice little stretch through the back. We're going to take it into a single leg pull, so we just get a little release through the hips as well. Both hands on your right knee, and just take your left leg away, and then pull it back into the centre. Then your right leg, flex your foot, lower your heel to the floor, and then bring it back into the centre. So it's just a single leg stretch, flexing the foot, and bringing the knee right back over your belly. As you take your leg away, try and keep that lower back in a soft imprint to the floor, and holding the knee over the belly will help to maintain that imprinted position. And that's going to bring more stretch then through our hamstrings. And if you push your way through your heel, you're going to get a stretch into your calves too. And 2 more each side. Breathing into your nose, and then out through the mouth. Neck relaxed and your chin still tucked in. Last one each side. Nice smooth finish to today's session. And then rest the feet down. Take your legs out nice and long. A bit more release through the hips, so you're going to lift your right knee. Left hand comes onto your right knee, so your left arms come across your body. Both shoulders are pressed down, and open your right arm. You're going to gently take your knee across to the left. You're going to press the right shoulder back into the floor. And then breathe right into your lower back. When you breathe out, try and relax the muscles around your lower back. And see if the knee ribs go a little bit further. Not forcing it down, but just feeling that nice release all the way through the hip and all the way into the back. Letting the leg come a little bit heavier. And then bring it back into centre when you're ready. So you're going to take your right leg out. You're going to pull your left knee up. You're going to bring your right arm across. And you're going to ease your leg across your body to the right. Left shoulder, press it into the floor. And again, turn your left palm up to the ceiling. So you're almost anchoring through the left arm and the left shoulder. Then you can take the breath right into your lower back. Allow that to relax. And see if the knee's ready to drop a little closer to the ground. Breathe in again. Breathe out, let it sink. And then you're going to bring both knees back into the centre. Take a hold of your knees, and if you can from here, we're going to take a little roll up into a seated position, and then take your legs behind. Knees back underneath the hips, and because we've done a lot of work through that lower back, just a little release. So hands are anchored to the floor, and you're going to tuck under your tailbone just to stretch the lower back, and then come back to neutral. So at this point, you're not allowing your rib cage to lift. You're pushing the crown of your head forward, and you're just scooping that tailbone under. Breathing out as you scoop it under, and then a breath in to release. Like you're trying to get your hip bones to point towards your ribs. And once more. And then you're going to tuck under your toes. You're going to lift the knees, and you're going to walk the hands back. Just like we did earlier. Bend your knees when you're ready, and then just restacking your spine. Coming up through each vertebrae, one at a time. And again, we've done lots of work through our waist and our lower back. We finish with just a little arm wrap. Let your weight sit into your heels. Don't let the hips turn. Once your hips turn, you're pivoting through your knees. Knees, hips stay still. We're trying to use the waist. So let the arms wrap and release. Wrap and release. And one more to your left. And then release the shoulders, just nice big circles.